Look out, copyright strike. I am Couch Coop. Talking of copyright, look at the whacking great watermark in the top right hand corner. Only on console, not on the PC. It was one of my best performing videos of 2025. I covered Watch Dogs 2 high settings over, as mentioned, on PC. We had some information revealed recently last week that looks like Ubisoft have quietly put Watch Dogs to bed. That's the end of Watch Dogs, full stop, the whole series. There is a lot of head scratching around management, I imagine, about why that happened. If you've played Legion, you know. And as this was all going on, some extremely senior social media manager decided to bleat about how cool Watch Dogs 2 was. 2016, this and that. I obviously responded. Recently, every time I've spoken about a console old school Ubisoft game not being 60 frames on 9th gen, they have put in a patch. I shit you not. Check this out. It happened with Far Cry 4, Syndicate, Blood Dragon, Primal, and it's going to happen with Watch Dogs 2. I'm going to explain why, and we're going to look at what we've got on PS5. What was that? So what do we have to work with in 2026 with Watch Dogs 2 on a PlayStation 5? 30 frames per second and 1800p. Checkerboarded apparently. Units sold, and this is why I think the Ubi execs are going to look into this update. It was 10 million in 2020. Did not undersell. Would that update prompt people to go and buy this off the shelf fresh? That one's an interesting question. It would, for me, motivate those 10 million owners of the game to fire it up again. I do keep still thinking I've got my taser equipped. Here's the next thing. It does have some micros in it, and it does have online PvP and cooperative content, which is a constant problem if you're trying to stay offline. You have to default it off in the menus, by the way.
The Wellness Center is a respected part of your community. If you're feeling lost or just disconnected from life and happiness, New Dawn is there for you.
It's also got New Dawn lore in it, which, if you know, is a religious sect from other games, let's just say. And it has topless nudity, which blew my mind. But let's get back to that patch.
We're transparent. They know before they ever install the app that they're giving us access to their computing power, but never their personal info.
That's a lot of trust. Silicon Valley would kill to have that level of intrusion.
Seeing those patched older games was just a solid goodwill gesture from the people at Ubisoft. I'm not sure what that manpower costs to be able to patch these things, but I think there's loads more of a financial incentive for them to patch or update Watch Dogs 2 than there would be with something like Syndicate. Let's look at that terminology, patch or update, because personally I want something more from Ubisoft surrounding this game. And back to that point about this potentially still being a moneymaker, why not give us a ground up remaster, full blown SSD, 4K, which that console can easily do, and a PEG 60 frame per second, and why not up some of the effects? Although I was only running that PC version at 1080, I had all the sliders with the rain, shadow, detail. With an open world game like this, that goes so far because you are knee deep in all of these effects all the time. So I feel it's really important. I don't want to just see a 60 frame patch as my point. We do have to be aware that Assassin's Creed Black Flag is getting that exact treatment, not just a small patch on update, an overhaul full stop. So that may take precedence. It's the older game as well, and the community have been calling for that for well over 10 years. You might be wondering how I got some of those shots on that intro. You do have that mobile phone camera. You can flip it round, take the HUD off, and you get a really shaky cam view of the game. It feels almost found footage. It was quite a discovery for me. The other still footage that I captured was done with the drone, and I recommend purchasing that as early as you can because there's sections in this game that are stunning.
911, what is your emergency?
I have to talk about the game itself, why it's popular with me, and it's 10 years old and from Ubisoft. Some of it does fall on the gadgets and how fun they are to control, how you can upgrade them, and how they allow you to see the game from a very different angle. They stuck with this for Legion, but they also stuck too much to the non-lethal weaponry. You're given a taser gun as standard in this game, which is incredibly fun to use, to be honest. But it's the hardcore militant weaponry, the actual bullet firing, good cover system, and incredibly tenacious police that make it this gift that almost keeps giving. And of course you've got the classic 2016 jank.
Help! No!
The NPCs are also quite varied in their behaviour. They're all up to something strange. This is a repeat animation, but it's still fun to witness in its entirety.
Have I hurt you yet?
There is a lot of unintentional humour within the game, not only with some of the accidents and ragdolls and stuff the police shout, but also with the directions that the NPCs go within their character development. A lot has changed on the planet since 2016 and in video game development, and measuring that with Watch Dogs 2 content is quite funny. I think these guys would be genuinely gutted that Kamala and Tim Waltz didn't get in. We dodged 2 bullets there.
Bitch, I'm black and I'm proud. Tell your sensors to calibrate that.
I have no reference for black.
The car's racist, the car's racist, of course it is. That brings me over, and I had to be really careful there to get that bit of dialogue because of the song in the background. It takes its music so seriously. It's actually a massive section of the discovery within the map. You come across new tunes, you add them to your MP3 player. Now this bit's really important. So it's not like GTA where you get in a car, you've got the radio playing. It's an actual music app on your phone. Now, Cyberpunk did this, they added it as an update, but this was rocking that idea back in 2016. So you can make your own playlist, you can cherry pick all the cool stuff. Apex Twin got some amazing retro band music on there and some classics, even classical. That one was huge for me, and it really inspires a lot of the footage because you've got a great tune going on in the background, you're getting chased by police, you're just having a brilliant time until the NPCs start talking.
Yo, you gotta get him. I'm just being honest.
There's also 2 rivaling gangs as well within the map, which is an interesting aspect to muck around with. And on the subject of mucking around and talking about those gadgets earlier, I think the hacking mechanic with this game is peak for the entire series. They've built on what they gave us with 1. I'm not quite sure how they managed to ruin it with Legion, but a lot of it was through that NPC involvement with them all having individual loadouts. It wasn't as liberal feeling as Watch Dogs 2, and there were all these drones flying around. The whole thing was a bit of a mess. I suppose I should ask you guys what you think should happen. Would you like to see a Watch Dogs 4 returning to these mechanics in a better engine? Maybe in LA, Minnesota, Cala, Gavin Newsom, California. We are kind of spoilt for choice. Judging by those numbers on that article, I don't think that would ever happen, but we will definitely see a patch on 60 frame. I'm going to go with that. We may even see a remaster / remake. That one is a bit of a shot for the moon. I do feel this game should be 100% looked at if you've never gone towards it. It is both on Game Pass and PSN, but mentioned at the start, that PC version, you get it fired up on Game Pass, you've got a half decent machine, you're going to see this game look incredible, particularly for 2016. I do also have a newfound soft spot for Watch Dogs 1 because that is a very separate game to this. And with that recent news of the whole series being under the sword of Damocles, it does make me realise how special an IP it actually was. Have to use the past tense there. All 3 games are covered in a ranked list, but you guys know the deal. And Ubi patch devs, because I know your list, put in the ability to upload save data so we can upload our character immediately. Please don't put it on 9th gen without that. As much as I love your game, don't put me through that intro again. My name was Couch Coop. I look forward to seeing you down there. What was that?